Saturday, everybody. How are you? Peace and blessings to all of you all. Welcome to Perspectives with Demira, and I have my wonderful guest, Ashley Redwood, also known as AD, also known as the Real Trap Queen. Listen, we're about to get into all of this today. I'm super duper excited and very, very grateful that she accepted the invitation to come on air. And we already started having some conversation before we got on. So I know that this is going to be real good and it's going to bless me. And I pray that it blesses all of you all. So listen, I want you to start off by telling the people a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so I am not too loud again. Okay, so I'm Ashley Redwood, and I'm the owner of Trap Cardio. Excuse me, y'all. Trap Cardio is a dance fitness format that promotes total wellness, confidence, and leadership from the inside out. And we are unapologetically black, and we definitely focus on servicing underserved communities. So I'm here. I'm for my people, of my people, all about my people.
Amen, amen. So here on Perspectives, the whole purpose of Perspectives is to broaden our mind about certain topics and how it plays out, in our lives and our decision making and things like that. So like I was telling you before we went live, we have a topic and our topic is the inner court, right? But I also believe in allowing people to flow. I don't like to box in because I think God is in the conversation that we have and every little nugget that we can get. You know what I'm saying? If you're paying attention, you'll grab them and you'll use them. So the topic inner court is talking about those people that we have around us. There's a difference in being behind the veil. I would think that, your husband, your children, those that are really close that you trust and they know secrets that they better carry to the grave, right? That's the people that's behind your veil. But your inner court would be also people that you rely on, depend on, that you trust too. You just don't tell them everything, So that's our topic for today. So I want to talk a little bit about your journey and how you got into just being an advocate for total wellness and what did that look like and what kind of people helped you along the way.
So my story starts with my dad. My dad lost his life battling diabetes and heart disease. And I just felt like my dad was too great of a man for his legacy to be reduced to chronic diseases. So I could not save his life. I cannot save every life, but I figured I could save one by telling his story. Even if me trying to stay healthy and keep myself alive, if that motivates somebody else, then my job is done. My purpose has been fulfilled. Um, some people look for a thing. Oftentimes the thing finds them. I mean, sometimes I think the best movements are when the thing finds you, and it found me. Um, it really propelled after I had my son, and I was just looking for an outlet to share my fitness journey with, because I didn't want to worry my friends with my friends. Like nobody want to sit around and hear about carbs all the day, all times. You, I might be on a fitness journey, but that don't mean you on a fitness journey. So I was like, I'm not gonna worry these people around me to death. I'm just gonna get it on the internet, on the internet, and my tribe will find me. So it happened like that, and then I started in my living room doing like what is it, dance weed fitness, the little dancing thing with the little. And as my confidence grew, because you can be confident just because you're confident in one thing, don't mean you're confident in many things. So as my gym confidence grew, I started going to dance fitness classes. I was taking Zumba, and my instructor at the time said she thought that I would be a great instructor. And I'm like, lady, I'll be in the back of the room because I like my space, I like my freedom. Just because I can dance don't mean I need to instruct. People don't understand. That's two different talents. But I said she may see something in me that I don't see. So I went and got certified and I started teaching classes, but I could never connect with the music. And let me tell you, as a leader, if you can't connect to the ministry, then there's no way you're going to be able to teach, teach your congregation. So if I'm not comfortable doing these moves and using this music, then I'm having a hard time connecting with my tribe. So I started incorporating songs and stuff that I like. And I figure either you gonna rock with it or you not. But what you will get is the authentic me because this is who I am, this is what I like, this is who I am. And who knew? People were looking for something similar.
Who knew?
And let's throw in the fact that I'm not the aesthetically fit trainer. Like I'm fit, but I'm not the aesthetic slim trim. That's not me. So my confidence was telling me, ain't nobody gonna wanna watch a fat trainer.
Right.
Meanwhile, the people are like, she know what it feel like to want to have a drink on the weekend. I can see she know what it feel like, and she's still going, and I can relate to that, and that's how it grew.
Wow. So, I love to tell this story. I met Ashley. We were doing a fashion show, and the fashion show, it was all about boosting your self esteem, and we were partnered. We walked together, and I remember I felt I stepped out. I felt so out of place. Like only reason why I even joined in was because my sister Tiara had been doing them for so long, and she encouraged me to do it. But it was like I didn't know anyone, so I don't do clicks, and I feel very isolated when I feel like I see them. So but I was like, I'm gonna do this anyway. I'm gonna carry this out. So when we got partnered together, I felt like I had found somebody that I could connect with. I remember we went out in the hallway and we were practicing and stuff, and you were like, "Come on, girl, what we gonna do? What we gonna do?" And you always had like that leader, like you were like, listen, we in the same boat, but we gonna go out there and we gonna do what we do.
But listen to what you just said. I did that when we were in the hallway,
Right.
so I was comfortable with leadership in the background. The front, don't follow me. Don't ask me nothing.
Ooh, never would have known that. Never would have known that. And so I've had the opportunity to see you grow, like, and watch, from the sidelines in the background. Every once in a while we'll come into the same space and things like that. And I were you doing trap cardio then?
It was like the beginning. It
Okay,
was like the
because
beginning.
I remember during pandemic it was like pow, and then all of a
Right.
sudden it just seemed like it just started spiraling.
It was a hobby then. It was a release. But again, I was in that same space you were in with the modeling because I'm like, I need a confident. Because again, just because you're confident in one thing don't mean you're confident in all things.
Exactly, exactly. That was a fun experience though. And so it has truly been it has blessed me, and I haven't shared that. Every once in a while I get on your story, and I'll say something or whatever. But just watching the transformation, the authenticity, of how I feel like we connect in that way because I'm often on here, we're on the fitness journey, you know what I mean, as well. And so I've also seen your inner tribe grow. So you actually have people on your team now that teach classes where at first it was just you, right? All right, so
Right.
talk about that. How many people do you have, and how do you go about like knowing? Yeah, that's an ambassador right there.
So it is, we have 5 ambassadors right now. The first one was chosen because I didn't know what a brand ambassador was. Okay. I just know I was tired. And I live in Richmond. I was commuting to DC for work. So a lot of times I'm late. And so I just reached out to somebody who was coming to the class all the time. I'm like, clearly they love the brand. They doing the same songs 3, 4 times a week. They love the brand. Do you mind being a warm up person for me? Do you mind? It takes a lot for me to ask for help, but I asked and they did it and it grew into that, right? Now, I'm seeing this one brand ambassador works out, right? So I'm seeing people in the class who are like excellent, but I still don't know what a brand ambassador means for me, you know? So my first ambassador, Sharonda, was like something about that person. I mean, she was picking people left and right, okay? I'm like, ma'am, I work, you know, when you in school, I mean, I'm a team player, but I work well independently, by myself. So, and then when something is your baby, it's so hard to, I can't explain to you how to raise, I'm a first time mom. Trap is my baby, right? How I'm going to tell you how to raise my child when I'm trying to figure out how to raise my child. So, um, it's been a learning experience for all of us. Um, talk about emotion regulation, talking about boundary setting, talking about setting expectations, not only for the business, but for myself. Communicating what it means to represent the brand, and then literally having to go through the trenches together. Like, cause I would go through things by myself, and I'm like, how they gonna be able to? How do I know they'll be able to hold down the brand like I need them to if I'm not even letting them in the trenches with me? They like, "Dang, she tight, she mad. What's she mad about?" And I'm like, let me share this. And when I shared things with them, and they like, say less, sis. Because not only do we love the brand, we love you. And we respect this brand, and this brand has a value to us outside of money. This brand has a value for us. So not only do we want to represent you well, we want to make sure the brand is still here years down the line. So it's been a learning experience. I can't even tell you. I woke up, had brand ambassadors, and this is what it is, baby. We've been it's been a reality show. Because as I'm new levels, new levels, new devils. So I had to do a lot of growing, girl. And emotional regulation, it was the biggest thing. Stop feeling like it's me versus them, you know, and just being open to constructive criticism. I can't be like, this my baby, shut up. If I'm gonna trust you to represent the brand, I gotta trust that you got my best interest at heart. Vulnerability. It's not, I'm not a dictator. I'm very democratic. And I had to figure out what type of leader I wanted to be too. It's having a team, girl. I tell people it's easy to just pick somebody and tell them what to do, but to have like a team that works well, like I can party with my team and be okay with it. We weren't always in this. We've had meetings before where I had said, "Is the mic on?" We work together, but no, I'm saying in the meeting, in the Zoom meeting, I'm like, "We are a team, but this is not a safe space for me. We will teach, but we going home. We're not talking after this." But I had to be naked. I had to be transparent. That's how we're gonna grow if we're working together.
Pause.
Uh,
Pause, 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 pause. Did anybody leave for a moment and come back? Did anybody like in those transitions when y'all were learning how to communicate with each other and you kept it real like that? Did anybody get in their feelings and say I don't want to do this anymore?
nobody. And I think that's what helps strengthen the brand. I mean,
Right.
the team. It was a lot of like they're very. I will say everybody's very introspective. So it was more, wow, didn't know you felt this way. Um, didn't know you felt this way. Why do you feel this way? Is there what can we do? And then like, is there anything you want to talk about? Nobody left. That's crazy. I never even considered that. Nobody left.
Cause I'm thinking I see you and your team like yeah it's y'all a unit and and I know that your brand has grown because of the wisdom that's been used in forming your unit, right? But as I'm listening to you, I'm like, she didn't even know what she was doing.
Remember, you gotta remember this started off as a hobby.
Right. Right. And so, I think I have been I have been known to be either one way or the other. Either I'm not telling you how I feel because I was taught early on that I can be so raw that so that's why I'm asking you these questions. Listen, I don't know. This ain't even for the people that's watching. Okay, this all about me right now. I'm trying to learn some things. I have been told that when I am straightforward and honest, that it comes across like it's just I'm a straight shooter. So finding that in the middle, I can't hear you. What she's saying to me. I know the devil is a liar. He don't want me to
It's
get
a
this
lot.
good information. There we go.
Okay. So everything we go through in life, we are supposed to take the tools from that to go to the next level, right? Like I even said, I told my husband this morning, I said, what I learned growing up in church when it relates to business is that never forget the children. Because the clients that I have now, they gonna get older, they gonna get tired, they're gonna but if I never forget the youth,
You went out again.
think of yourself as the teacher. What was the last thing you heard?
Think of yourself as a teacher.
Okay, we're gonna do it. So you can't approach.
It's going out again. I think it has to be the mic. Yeah. Y'all just bear with her. Give her a second because this is good. I'm going to go look at these comments and see if anybody's saying anything. Okay. All right. So she's going to rejoin. There she go. Let me bring you on. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Yes.
All right. So everything we go through in life, you're supposed to learn from, right? So you're an educator, correct?
Correct.
Every person, every child learns differently.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't stop when they become an adult.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to learn how to approach people individually before I could approach them as a group. So you might be somebody who needs positive reinforcement before I can start telling you how I really feel.
Right. Right. Right.
Somebody else might can take it straight, no chaser.
Right. Right.
But I can't go to a group of 5 people thinking they're all going to receive my message the same way because impact is just as important as intent.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's good. Impact is just as important as intake. That's good. That's real good. That's real good. How many ambassadors do you Do you have a goal?
No more ambassadors. Anybody else will be an instructor. So we're creating an instructor program.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as being that attached to the brand, nah,
Right, right,
I'm done.
right. You said that circle is closed.
It is closed. Yes, yes.
So you actually, because you said you were commuting from DC for work, and I remember that too. And you actually left your job. What was that transition like?
Hmm. So I worked for the federal government.
Mm-hmm.
The climate, the environment on the job was terrible when Trump became president.
Mm-hmm.
Prejudices used to be so like low and hidden, and now people were getting comfortable with doing things like walking past my desk and like, oh, you got purple hair, huh? Oh, you and your husband are educated, stuff like that. So the job was becoming a hostile environment.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, God, you gave me this thing. You gave me this thing that looks like it's growing.
Yeah.
Girl, I literally got a letter one day. It was actually right when COVID hit, so I thought it was very insensitive. We all confused. We don't know what is going on in the world. And they sent me a letter saying that they were thinking of suspending me for a week because I lost my badge in November. Girl, it's March. I probably had two new badges by then.
Right.
So I was looking at the numbers. And I was like, I think I can do this. Like if I'm doing this in a part-time manner, what could I do if I put all my energy? Because I'm giving these people all my hours and I
Right.
don't get no overtime.
Right.
What could I do? So since y'all wanted to suspend me, now I rebutted the whole thing and I won. But then I told him I'm gonna take a leave without pay, a week without pay.
Mm.
And I told my husband, I said, if the next paycheck comes and I'm not asking why, did it hit for no money or nothing like that, I'm gonna jump off the porch. And that's what happened. Did he agree from the beginning? No, ma'am.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
but yeah, I jumped off the porch.
Right. Right. I bet you he on board now, and
He,
he's a
he,
big supporter. Every time I turn around, he got on some trap cardio, and
he do the
yeah,
check-ins at the door.
yeah, yeah. I know that's right. It's when you're taking that leap of faith, it is a huge transition. How important was it for you to have support? Were you in a space where you were like, I'm doing this regardless, like, and I'm not talking about marital. That's
Hmm.
totally different. But like, did you lose friends? Did you gain friends? How did that? What did that look like?
It was so different. So I started because support was already existing, right? I'm like, man, I got a tribe. They're gonna hold me down. Has the tribe changed over years? Definitely.
Yeah.
Um, People don't always give you the space to evolve.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and sometimes it's the craziest things. Cause I'm very reactive person. So if you want to make me mad, everybody knew all you have to do is poke the bear, and the beast gonna come out,
Right.
right?
Right.
So when that no longer started working, people they get offended by it. And that just make me she don't care, and I'm just like, it's so many things going on in my life. Like I've been doing this full time. This July will be 4 years.
Mm.
In hindsight, I'm 39. If that's no time. So there was a lot of adjusting in no time. And not everybody gave me the space to adjust.
Mm-hmm.
I heard things like, oh, well, you got other friends now. Huh?
Right.
I have a community of people and I have to be in the fields with the community, but I still
Right.
have a space for my loved ones. Am I going to be always as present? No, because guess what? I still got a husband, children,
Mm-hmm.
mother. Everybody doesn't always give you this space to evolve. So has the tribe changed over the years? Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Am um I used to be so like, oh my God, I love you, we're best friends. Not no more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not no more. I know, like I said, boundary setting.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody doesn't need to be in every space. Like you said,
Mm-hmm.
everybody doesn't need to know everything.
Right.
Um, I still have an issue where I question people's intentions. Do you want to get to know me or you just want to be associated with me?
Right.
And I'm okay with either one,
Right.
but I need you to be true about what your intentions are.
Right. Right. Right.
So yeah.
That's good. We were talking about that. I'm glad you brought that back up because we were talking about that before we came on live, and I was sharing with AD that you know I'm in a space personally where I'm in new territory, pretty much everywhere. This is my first year as an assistant principal. This is my first year as a minister and an assistant pastor, in my church and things like that. So I've been a leader in those spaces before, in ministry and at work, but just not at this capacity. And so I'm learning new things about myself that some I thought, I thought I had overcome that. And some are just like, I didn't really know that. You know what I mean? And so, but we were talking, me and her, we were talking about being in a space where you don't really know who to trust. It's kind of like, what are your motives? What can I tell you? What are you doing with this information? Why are you here? Where did you come from?
Who sent you?
Who sent you? Right? And my topic last month was inner conflict. Well, it was conflict in general, but then we kind of landed on inner conflict because I think inner conflict is the biggest enemy that we have. Like, that's the thing that keeps us from moving forward, in our desires and things like that. And so I'm seeing people who they were with me in the trenches when things were really rough. And I'm not saying that they're gone, but it's not the same.
Were
And
they
the
really
expect
there?
right.
Your perspective on being there may be different
Some
now.
of them were.
Okay.
Some of them were. Some of them weren't, and they've been cut. It's just time to. And I think I'm way quicker to just recognize and realize what's really going on and move accordingly. Like you said, when people are like, "Well, you don't act like you care anymore." It's not that I don't. It's just I just don't have the time, the space, the energy. I'm
What is
juggling.
it, a bandwidth?
I don't have it. You know, like we like to say in the educational world, the capacity we don't have. It's not in my toolbox. I don't have it. It's too many other things that have to be done, and so um, what I want to know from you is what did that I mean, we've talked about what that looked like outwardly, but what did that really look like for you, like inwardly? Did you have
Depression. Depression. 2 years ago, depression real bad. And I didn't even shared it with people that I felt like had been in the trenches with me. And I realized that the response was always like, oh, okay, it almost like template. Oh, okay, you'll get through it. And I do,
but
but I need a different friend right now. Like I don't need to be like, because it reduces my experience.
right.
Your depression is not that bad because you'll get through it. You get through everything. Well, I didn't feel like I could get through it.
Right.
And so I had started therapy because the thing about when you're having inner conflict and outer conflict at the same time, That is overwhelming. It's like what they said, being between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you literally like just crumble.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I had this talk. My therapist was like, we figured out the core issue was people pleasing. And you know me, somebody straighten up face like, I don't care about the people.
Right.
But you do.
You do.
Girl, I had to sit on the phone. She was like, I need you to say, I'm a people pleaser. I said, I know you lying.
You were like, I will not.
I was like,
I will not.
look, the man, I'm like, can the people hear me?
Right. Are you recording this? Right.
Right. So I was like, so then when I said, I was like, I'm a people pleaser. I'm a people pleaser. Dang, I'm a people pleaser. And you realize how much you sacrifice yourself to accommodate others. And to the point where people feel like if they show up one or two times, like, that equals. And it's like, no, that time I was like, I don't know if I can do this anymore. And you're like, oh, girl, you be okay. No, that's when I needed you.
Right.
You know, um, I've had people. Girl, I ain't never known no stuff like that. People gather together with the what is like the source. I don't like AD, so we're gonna gather in groups, and I like her together. And I gotta sit here and be like, I don't see it, I don't fear it, I don't see it, I don't feel it, I don't hear it. My therapist like, block, delete, and mute everybody.
Right.
I was like, no, because then they gonna think I feel away. But you do.
Right.
So part of the inner conflict is not trusting yourself and putting on your mask first. Who cares if they feel away? You gotta save yourself, right?
Right. Right. And next Saturday we have a conference, a women's conference. It's called Unmask Yourself, because we do that a lot. We say that don't bother me. I don't care about that. When really,
You do.
we care a lot. We just have a different output. Some people will cry, and some people will get mad and be ready to fight. You know what I mean? And some people act nonchalant. But you care. And so
And it's okay to care. Like
you
the
should.
social media wants to reduce the human experience so much. I don't care about nothing. I don't care about them people. I don't do this. You care. It's okay.
Right.
You can love, hate, be mad, sad. That's your human experience. You are a human.
Right. Right.
You feel.
Right.
Allow yourself to.
Oftentimes, in church, where they say, I hear a lot, don't let your feelings, like you're not supposed to. It's almost like you're not supposed to have feelings. But that's not what the word says. He gave us those feelings. We're supposed to have them. We're just not supposed to like be angered and respond, and mistreat people because of how we feel.
Yes, it's never, your feelings are okay. Your behaviors based on your feelings are
Right.
the
That's
things
the
we have to be
problem.
mindful of.
Exactly. And I think we're so busy, like you said, trying not to even acknowledge the feelings, that we're digging a deeper hole for ourselves. I've dealt with depression myself, and I can often feel times of transition where I can feel it's almost like you're feeling yourself like off balance, and you feel it. I have moments where sometimes I feel like it's trying, to set in, and that's when I realize I'm not acknowledging something. Like I'm not being real with myself about something.
And you can't be your best self if you don't. It limits your creativity because you wrapped up in your emotions. You start misdirecting your emotions. Like, I got this internal conflict, I got this external conflict, and then all Junior to said is, can he have another Pop Top? And I'd have lost it.
You done snapped.
Baby like, well, I ain't did nothing. And I'm like, check yourself. Check yourself.
Right.
Because it plays out.
Yeah, it does. No
What
matter
they
how
say,
much.
check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Yep. Yep. Because it's gonna spew out. and it usually spews out on those that are closest to us.
Mhm.
You know, my son, he's 24 now. But my poor baby got it. Like, when I was trying to figure a lot of things out, he was right there. That's why I feel like I can talk to him about anything now, because he knows my heart. He knows who I am, and he's gonna tell me, "Mom, you and your feelings."
Mhm.
And a lot of people are like, "Well, you shouldn't be." And I'm not saying no one has said this to me, but I've just heard things about people's perspectives on how you should be with your children and things. My son is grown, and when he was young, I was transparent with him. When I was snapped, I had to humble myself and go back to him and say, listen, that was wrong of me, you know.
And I agree. I agree with that with my whole heart, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because even like we're marriage or whatever, right? I love my parents, but I know them as a child. I didn't know them as women, as a man and woman. So I can't tell you that I saw them argue many times, but that was a detriment too, because how am I supposed to resolve conflict with this man?
Right. Right.
What does
And
that
I ain't
look
never
like?
seen it. Right. You
Yeah,
never
yeah.
seen it. Yeah.
So I do share things with Junior, or he'll see us have a disagreement and we'll talk it out in front of him. Like, we don't put him in adults' business, but little things like that. Junior is, that's my son, y'all. So he's seen this process for the past 4 or 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
He's seen me in the house, he's seen me outside. So
Mm-hmm.
he sees life different than I did growing up as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
He dreams differently than I did,
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't have this perspective in life.
Right.
So I definitely share this life with him. But you need those people in your life, the heart keepers, the ones who
Yeah.
like you like, we know you. It's
Right.
gonna be okay, you know.
Right. Especially when you do deal with that internal conflict a lot, because you find yourself questioning, you know, your position and stuff. It's like, well, am I like that? Am I wrong?
Girl, you.
And you have a hard time sometimes. I'm gonna just say me, okay? I see you
Mhm.
relating, but you have a hard time sometimes deciphering like the reality of certain situations, because we got to be real. It's a tax. Also,
Mhm.
there are going to be some people that's planted to just come just to try to bring you down. And that's just the reality. It's unfortunate, but that's just what we come up against. So you got to have people in your inner court that's going to keep you grounded, like you said, that's going to remind you of who you are from your heart. And even
Yes.
when it's not showing outwardly, they're going to bring you
Mhm.
back to that center, like, what's going on? Because this is not you. You're like, what's
Right.
happening? I
Or
think
even
it's
it'll check you, like you said with the podcast. If something going wrong, your son will be like, "Mama, you need to do this." Yeah.
yeah, he's out of town right now, so I don't even think he thinking not one bit about me. He at that little fest. I forget what the name of it is, but it's like all those artists and stuff. So I don't think he
Mhm.
thinking about me at all. He ain't saying a word. But he does always go back and and watch though. But I have other people, younger sisters and stuff like that. They'll say stuff, but it's important just for people to that can bring you back, to your place, and say, even when you have a hard time saying what's going on, that they know something's not right, and give you that little nudge, or sometimes that push that you
Mhm.
might need, you know what I mean, to get yourself together. So I think, do you and your ambassadors, I think you have worked to that place where you all can come to each other and say, listen, I don't know what's going on with you right now, but I'm gonna need you to.
And I even tell them sometimes, like, I'm a little irritable this week, y'all. Just bear with me, like.
Right,
But yeah,
right.
but we are definitely like that, and it's not just a space for me; it's a
Mm-hmm.
space for them too.
Mm-hmm.
So what's going on? The kids get this week. Like we all get to dump.
Yeah,
We all
yeah,
get to dump.
yeah, yeah. Um, when you were going through your space of transitional depression, that's what I'm gonna call it, because I think you were in an elevation state. Um, what did that look like outwardly? Like, how did you keep going? Because you give when you're doing your trap cardio, just when you're out, when you're everywhere, you're big, right? You know what I mean. You fill a room with your personality, with your presence and stuff like that. So, how did you push through and continue giving that your everything when you had this going on?
Isolation. Um, I couldn't, since I couldn't read the energies, I had to constantly like, not so isolation, but sticking to my safe spaces.
Okay.
So that may be like, because I love to be outside,
Mm-hmm.
right? But it was less of that. I knew I had to be big when I'm at work.
Right.
I will go to work, immediately go home. People would think I was rushing to another event or something. I'm just hurrying. I'm hurrying, get that up. Excuse me, y'all. I'm hurrying
Go
up and getting
ahead.
out
Right.
and going home.
Right.
I even had to uh, stop doing little things. Like I do not Google. I don't search trap cardio in anything because I do not want to be influenced. I
Okay.
don't want to question. Like I feel like I present myself authentically. Either you like it or you don't.
Right.
If I get to a place where I'm always trying to figure out how somebody else feel about it,
Right.
the numbers are substanding me. I don't need to know about your feelings.
Right.
Everybody gonna feel a way about something.
Right.
So I don't put myself in situations where I'm vulnerable to someone else's energy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So even if there's somebody in the class who like rubbing me wrong, I know how to professionally distance myself. And then I got brand ambassadors who will fill in. You will never notice.
Right. Right. That's good because I feel like I have a personality. I can be big in a space. Um, I'm learning how to stay that way. Like because I do pick up on like you said people's vibes, people's energies and things like that. And a lot of times it feels like it's pulling on me. And I think what I just got from what you said is it's not as much as it's pulling on me as it's pulling my attention. My attention is on it
And you gotta,
instead of right. So learning how to just not, because I think that's been one of the things I know that's been one of the things that has kept me from doing ventures like this for the longest time. This has always been something, that I wanted to do. I actually went when I went to school for psychology, but then I quickly changed to broadcast the media. And would always say, I wanted to have a talk show and things like that. But because I was so concerned about people's opinions about me, then I would, just stay to myself because I didn't want to open myself up to a space where people, when you're in a space like this, people have the right to have an opinion and vocalize it. Like with you, they can do reviews. You know what I mean? They can not come to class and then go telling other people, which will influence them to not want to come to class and things like that. So it has an effect that's different than if you just
so you
mind your own
gotta
business.
focus, or even if it's just one positive person that's always pouring into you, try to focus on that. I've had people come to my class, and granted, everybody is different. I've had people come to my class. I mean, resting face on, I don't want to be here. Granted, some people's faces just like that.
Right.
But the people pleaser in me, it's like, I got to make them smile. I got to make them, maybe they not enjoying themselves. And I'm like, okay, you focusing on this one person too much when there's all these other people in the class. Either they're going to be with it. You really have to believe that your tribe will find you.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times we think tribe is what we can see. Mm-mm. Sight is only 20/20. Vision is much larger.
Mm.
You don't know who's watching you on this video right now.
Right.
You don't know who's going to watch this video a week from now, 2 weeks from now.
Mm-hmm.
I used to sell a product. I don't sell it no more, and I'm still getting sales because the videos in the atmosphere. So it's like you have to, what they say, be okay with somebody not liking you. You got to be okay with people not agreeing with you. If you feel like this is your purpose, you just got to go. I had this conversation with myself in the bathroom. Don't judge me. The other day.
That's a good place
I
to
think
have
because
a
it was,
conversation with yourself.
I think it was Easter, right? I think it's because it was Easter, right?
Okay.
I said, God sacrificed his whole son.
Mm,
Jesus sacrificed his whole life
mm,
for a purpose.
yeah.
And we sit here distracted because one or two people don't agree with us.
It's facts. It's
That
facts.
man was bleeding and everything. Ain't nobody shot me yet.
That's facts. You say I'm still breathing. I'm still living.
He was
Right.
betrayed. He even wept.
Yeah. Yeah.
He walked around with people that people didn't agree with, but he knew their heart. Mary,
Mm-hmm.
oh, he would the jump off. I know her heart.
Right.
If
Right.
Jesus went through all that, how dare we think we ain't gonna go through something?
That's the truth.
So you gotta just accept it as a part of the process and keep pursuing what you know is true to you.
Right. Right. Amen. Amen. I just preached a message like that. What was it? The Friday before Easter.
You better start listening to your messages.
And I do.
Okay.
I do. And I have, like, that has been what has kept me consistent. Because I have, like, had moments where I'm like, I'm not doing it this Saturday. I don't feel like it. One of the things that being in the classroom, and I'm not in the classroom anymore, but my students used to give me so much life. Like, I would go up in there and I might be in a funk. And, God has been telling me to return to that space when I would come into my classroom. And like you said, I would tell my students, y'all, this ain't a good day for me today. So just, just bear with me or whatever. And then they would do something that would just get my mind off of whatever was had me tripping, and I remember they used to say stuff to me like, Miss Gallo, when you gonna become a pastor? Or Miss Gallo, you should write a book. And I wrote one. You know what I mean? Like God would use them to pour certain things, into me. And so that's why I say you can learn a whole lot. Like if anybody say you can't learn from kids, you can learn a whole lot from children. They might not have the wisdom that we have, but God will use them to pour things, into you. But I say all that to say, because sometimes I could be kind of long-winded. But
Oh, you good?
when I when I started doing this, um, it really was when I started doing the mobile ministry. And I remember I was moving, me and one of my sisters, we were moving some stuff for my mom from one apartment to another. And this guy was helping us, and he said something along the lines of, "Are you the lady that made that video talking about the killing when the young student got killed, and when the shooting happened at the graduation?" And I had made a video for my mobile ministry, and I was like, "Yeah, I didn't know him from Adam or Eve, right?" And then my sister said she was talking one day, and some of her coworkers were talking about the video, and she was like, "That's my sister." And so I was like, it's the inner court. A lot of times it shifts. I know that. But there sometimes the one you start off with, they're not the ones that's, supporting you. You did a video that jolted something in me about stop worrying about people who gonna support you. Why are you so worried about people that's supporting you, that's around you, when it's this big old world? I can't remember exactly what you said, but you was like, there's this big old world of people, and I was like, she right, shoot. And so in those moments where I'm like, I ain't really in the mood. It's like when it's time, you just get into action, and that's what made me bring up the classroom, because I would just get, when it was time for me to teach them, I had to just get into action. And so that's how I view this, and that's what I got from you when you were saying, when you were in that depressed mode, you went to work you got into action, and then you hurry up and
Yep.
got your book, because that's all probably all the energy that you had. This was
Oh,
to do that, and then to get on back, you know, get on back home and rejuvenate yourself. So, I think, as we learn how to navigate in our spaces, and like you said, when we get our community, people tell me that they gain from the things that I'm doing. The thing that has been having me question is because in the immediate spaces that I'm in, I don't feel like they are gain, and that's the space I care. That's the space that's close to my heart, right? So it's like, ah,
But you still gotta realize this is your dream. This is your dream. They may have dreams and journeys that they are going on personally. Like this is your thing.
right,
So eventually, because it's a belief system. Eventually, they may come around, but you gotta go forward knowing that you're changing somebody's life out there.
right,
You're building
right,
somebody else. So don't even look forward inward. Because like I said, when I quit my job, my husband's he more conservative than I am.
mm-hmm,
I ain't even bring it up. I just went and did my job,
right,
did what I was supposed to do, and eventually he would turn around. But when you're at the beginning of your faith walk, and even during transitional spaces, we're trying to make other people a believer, but we got to keep ourselves a believer. Because like you said, something could hit us, and then we like, well, dang, is this where I'm supposed to be? So I got to keep myself in the game. The other
yep,
people will come and go.
yep, yep,
But you gotta believe so strongly. Then they'll come around. They'll come around.
right,
They will come
right,
around. But you can't put too much, like you said, too much attention on that.
right, right,
Because now you're not even operating from an authentic space. You trying to like, did this trick win them over? Let me tap dance. People
uh-huh,
pleasing.
uh-huh, uh-huh. Let me see what's going, let me see what's gonna motivate them. Let me see, and it's
You
a
out here?
difference in, like you said, you got different types of learners. There's a difference in approaching them
Hmm.
on their level, so that you can, so
And
that you
not
can,
our level. I had to learn
right,
that. I can't just because I can take it straight. Don't mean I. It's like love languages. We
yeah,
have long. That's a good thing. We have love languages. We have conflict languages. Like
mm-hmm,
you can give it to me straight,
right,
and I'm like, whoo, I'll be okay though.
right.
I'd rather you because I can't. I hate having to read between the lines.
I know,
But everybody else not like that.
right,
So
right, right. So, but walking that fine line of also not people pleasing. Like, I'm
hmm
coming to you the way that I know that I've learned that you need me to come to you, but at the same time, it's not gonna change my character. It's not gonna change who I am
right.
as a person.
I used to start with disclaimers, right? Because I used to be a reactive person.
Mm-hmm.
Terrible emotional regulation. I would say, Damara, now before I tell you this, take all the emotion out of it. I promise you I'm not emotional about this, but this is something that I have to share with you. And I usually, because you already know I'm not, what kind of impact I'm trying to have. I'm not trying to hurt
Right.
you.
It's prepping. That's prepping.
Right.
Then that's prepping
Without
you.
being people pleasing. Like I mean what I
Right.
say,
Right. Right.
but it's no extra.
Right. 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 That's good. Cause I can't stand it when somebody say I need to talk to you.
Girl, because what we need to talk about?
Well, listen. If we need to talk, can we go ahead and do this
Do
now?
it
Like, I
now.
don't want to wait. Don't do that.
Because now my whole day, like,
What we talking about? Is it good? Is it bad? Like, what I do? That's
You
the
done tore
first
my
thing.
anxiety up.
What I said to them that offended them. Like, what?
That's me all day. Like,
God darn, man. Kicking myself. Like, what I said? Jesus.
but that's a problem too. Us always thinking we
With
are
the
the
problem.
villain.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's been the
Girl.
past, But so I'm getting there. I'm definitely getting there, and I'm definitely not where I was. Even when we met, I got up out of there real quick when that fashion show was over. I disappeared. Like
but
I got.
Celebrate every step of growth and evolution.
Mm-hmm.
Because even though, how some people like, I'm not where I want to be, but I'm not where I was. And that is big. The fact that you're not where you was, that's big. Celebrate
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Well, listen, I'm gonna say this before we end. One of the things that I truly admire about you is your authenticity. I love how you show up. You know, um, and even on your videos and stuff like that, when you're not having good moments, you still show up as Ashley. And I know that that has taken work, and that's one of the things I think that I want people to really get from my spaces is we don't just land somewhere. It it takes work. So don't ever be deceived by the thing that you see now, because you're not seeing everything in the background that happened to lead up to that space. So, I think that I can say this on behalf of the community, at least Richmond. We're grateful that Ashley shows up as Ashley, and that, trap cardio exists. And I know that there's so much more. I know you got things percolating um, up here and probably already, you know, in the midst. And so, and again, I've said it probably like 10 times, and you probably were like, why should keep, but thank you so much, for accepting the invitation to be on
No problem.
and blessing us. And are there any last words that you want to share?
I
Tell
always
them
say
maybe
that.
how they can get to your trap cardio. Like, when are the classes? Share some of that. Yeah.
Okay. So we teach classes every Monday at 6:30 p.m., Saturdays 8 a.m. You can connect with us via social media and all the ways by going to trap-cardio.com. Sign up for the newsletter, stay in the know. Um, a lot of things, my favorite quote that I try to tell people, well, I like to tell people is, if you have the ability to achieve it, you have to have the audacity to achieve it. Okay? Success does not come out without sacrifice. It does not come without hurdles. Like like the Myra say, you just don't land on a thing, but you have to have the audacity to keep going forward.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. I hope that this has blessed y'all. It truly has blessed me. I told y'all this was for me, and y'all received the overflow, of it, and so I'm looking forward to. And I need to get up and trap cardio class. I've been in full transparency. I've been scared
Girl,
to come up in there because y'all be going hard, like, and I like to work out, but I'm like, look, let me see myself on somebody's video going in. Like, I said, it's your class and Body by Maria. I've been scared of both.
don't
And
be.
I've been wanting to go to both. So now, since I said it on here, now not only do I have to come, but I got to document that I was there so that I can prove that I don't just be talking.
Right. I'm gonna be waiting on that.
I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there. So before we go, I do want to remind my audience that I have for my church a conference next weekend. It's next Saturday and Sunday. Saturday is Unmask Yourself. We have two guests from New York. This is the very first conference that I have organized. I'm super excited, nervous, and all that about it. So it's gonna be great though. So you can check that out on my social medias, and I think that's it, y'all. So thank y'all for joining us, and y'all have a wonderful Saturday.
Bye.
What?